Page 116. Before making any important decision, declaring a war, moving with his companions to another plane, choosing a field in which to sow seed, the warrior asks himself, how will this affect the fifth generation of my descendants? A warrior knows that everything a person does has enduring consequences, and he needs to understand what kind of world he is leaving behind for those who come after. Page 117. It's just a tempest in a teacup, someone says to the warrior of the light. But he never exaggerates his difficulties and always tries to remain calm, and he never judges someone else's suffering. A small detail, which does not affect him in the least, could serve to ignite the storm brewing in his brother's soul. The warrior respects the suffering of others and does not try to compare it with his own. A cup of suffering is not the same size for everyone. Page 118. The most important quality of the spiritual path is courage, said Gandhi. The world seems threatening and dangerous to cowards. They seek the false security of a life with no major challenges and arm themselves to the teeth in order to defend what they think they possess. Cowards end up making the bars of their own prison. The warrior of the light projects his thoughts beyond the horizon. He knows that if he does not do anything for the world, no one else will. So he fights the good fight and he helps others, even though he may not quite understand why. Page 119. The warrior of the light pays close attention to a text that the soul of the world transmitted to Chico Xavier. When you have managed to overcome grave problems in a relationship, do not spend time remembering the difficult times. Concentrate on the joy of having passed yet another of life's tests. When you emerge from a long period of medical treatment, do not brood on the suffering you endured. Think instead of God's blessing with gratitude that allowed you to be cured. Carry in your memory for the rest of your life the good things that came out of those difficulties. They will serve as a proof of your abilities and will give you confidence when you are faced by other obstacles. Page 120. The warrior of the light concentrates on the small miracles of daily life. He is capable of seeing what is beautiful because he carries beauty within himself. The world is a mirror and gives back to each man the reflection of his own face. The warrior knows his faults and limitations, but he does all he can to maintain his good humor in moments of crisis. The world is, after all, doing its best to help him, even though everything around him seems to be saying the opposite. Page 121. There is a thing as emotional rubbish. It is produced in the factories of the mind. It consists of pain that has long since passed and is no longer useful. It consists of precautions that were important in the past, but that serve no purpose in the present. The warrior has memories too, but he learns how to separate the useful from the unnecessary. He disposes of his emotional rubbish. The companion says, but that's part of my history. Why should I jettison feelings that mark my very existence? The warrior smiles, but he does not try to feel things that he no longer feels. He is changing, and he wants his feelings to keep pace with him. Page 122. When the master sees that the warrior is depressed, he says, you are not what you seem to be in these moments of sadness. You are better than that. Many have left, for reasons we will never understand, but you are still here. Why did God carry all those amazing people and leave you? By now, millions of people will have given up. They don't get angry, they don't weep, they don't do anything. They merely wait for time to pass. They have lost their ability to react. You, however, are sad. That proves that your soul is still alive. Page 123. Sometimes in the middle of an apparently endless battle, the warrior has an idea and he manages to triumph in a matter of seconds. Then he thinks, why did I labor for so long over a battle that could have been resolved with only half the energy I spent on it? The truth is that all problems seem very simple once they have been resolved. The great victory, which appears so simple today, was the result of a series of small victories that went unnoticed. Then the warrior understands what happened, and he sleeps easy. Far from blaming himself for having taken so long to arrive, he is simply glad to know that he did arrive in the end. 124. There are two types of prayer. In the first type, the person asks for certain things to happen and attempts to tell God that he should do. This does not allow the Creator time or space in which to act. God, who knows perfectly well what is best for each of us, will continue to do as he sees fit, just as the universe itself may. And the person praying is left with the impression that his prayer went unanswered. In the second type, the person may not understand the Almighty's intentions, but he allows his life to develop according to his Creator's plans. He asks to be spared suffering. He asks for joy in the good fight, but he never forgets to add, "Thy will be done," with gratitude. This is how the warrior of the light chooses to pray. 125. The warrior knows that the most important words in all languages are the small words. Yes, love, God. They are words that are easy enough to say, and which fill vast, empty spaces. There is, however, one word, another small word that many people have great difficulty in saying. No. Someone who never says no thinks of himself as generous, understanding, polite, because no is thought of as being nasty, selfish, and unspiritual. The warrior does not fall into this trap. There are times when, in saying yes to others, he is actually saying no to himself. That is why he never says yes with his lips if, in his heart, he is saying no. Page 126. First, God in the universe is sacrifice. Suffer in this life and you will be happy in the next. Second, people who have fun are childish. Remain tense at all times. Third, other people know what is best for us because they have more experience. Fourth, our duty is to make other people happy. We must please them even if that means making major sacrifices. Fifth, we must drink from the cup of happiness. We might get to like it, and we won't always have it in our hands. Sixth, we must accept all punishments. To some degree we are guilty. Seventh, fear is a warning. We do not want to take any risks. These are the commandments that no warrior of light